พระผงพิมพ์อู่ทองวัดอ่างทองวรวิหาร 2491 BE using sacred powders from พระสมเด็จวัดเกตชโย amulets that were broken up. And here we can just have a look at close-up of the Muan San to see this. On the rear face we can see pieces of authentic Prat Somdet Wat Ket Chayo inserted into the sacred clay. And here we have quite a rare model, the Prat Somdet Pim Wat Ket Chayo, released at Wat Prasad in 2506 BE in the rebuilding of the Uposatha Shrine Room edition after the burning down of the shrine room accidental fire, where well over 200 monks of the greatest monks of that era came to perform blessings, and Muan San powders were given and block presses to make many different models from hundreds of different masters around the country, who all came to perform blessing upon this, the fourth biggest blessing ceremony in the history of Thai Buddhist amulets. And this particular pim contains powders from Wat Bang Khun Prom, because Wat Bang Khun Prom donated powders of the Prat Somdet Bang Khun Prom, and also the block presses of their various models, along with Ajahn Tim of Wat Shanghai, who brought the block press of Luang Pu Tuat and donated powders too. But for this model was made using Pong Putakun Itije and broken pieces of Prat Somdet Bang Khun Prom amulets to make this particular series. One might perhaps also add that amongst the many masters who donated Muan San from Luang Pu Tok, Wat Padu Chimpli, and Muan San from Wat Plap through the hand of Luang Pu Tok was also donated and is seen present in many of the models found in the series from Wat Prasad Punyawat 2506 BE edition, which has so many different models because of the donation of so many different block presses from famous amulets of the time from many temples who wished to help to rebuild the Uposatha shrine room, which was burned down by a fire, and who all came to perform blessings in the ceremony. And here we see from the same series a Prat Somdet Pim Sam Shan, Mi Jut Niyom. Mi Jut means to have a dot or a spot, which you can see between two layers of the dais, in the middle of the dais of the Buddha. And on the rear face we can see once again the presence of the Pong Somdet Wat Bang Khun Prom within the Muan San. And here we have a beautiful example of the Prat Somdet Putto in Nuea Pong Wat Rakang Gao, meaning ancient pieces of broken Prat Somdet Wat Rakang, which between Luang Po Supoj, who made this amulet for the Indochina War Ceremony edition, the Piti Indojin, which was the second most largest blessing ceremony in the history of Thai Buddhist amulets, after the Wat Mahabopit ceremony and before the Wat Prasad ceremony, which was the third biggest ceremony. And this made from almost purely pieces of Wat Rakang amulets, and Pong Itije features a Buddha with an image of a body leaf around him within an arch, and was released in 2484 BE by Luang Po Supoj at Wat Sutat, but which was also assisted with by Luang Pu Hin and Luang Pu Nak of Wat Rakang, who were Sahai Tham. They were Dharma friends, and they would exchange Muan San and block presses with each other. Now we look at an amulet from a master who is becoming ever increasingly popular and whose amulets are becoming ever rarer. Prat Somdet from Luang Po Yong Yut of Wat Khao Mai Daeng, which is now becoming very rare indeed. This one is a Pim Lang Yan with hand inscribed yantra, sacred nat, on the back face. And we can take a chance to look at the Muan San on the rear face and the impression of the sacred nat with the Pong Puttakun, and look at the natural aging process and the various aspects of the Muan San, of the Prat Somdej of Luang Po Yong Yut. And now we're going to take a look at the Prat Somdej law, metallic, alchemically, metallurgically smelted Somdej amulet from Luang Po Up from 2478 BE. The amulet was released at Wat Ta Nim in Ayutthaya. Once again, as a student, one should take note of the appearance of the surface of the metallic amulet to see how different surfaces appear of metallic amulets of different ages. And now we take a look at the Prat Somdej Sam Shan classic masterclass amulet of Luang Pu Hin of Wat Rakang Kositaram, made sometime between 2500 and 2505 BE, and has become so very popular, especially with Singaporeans, because some Singaporeans had some miraculous events occur with people who wore this amulet, including what should have been deadly car crashes and so on, which got in the news and made this amulet very popular not only in Thailand but also in Southeast Asia with Singaporeans and Malaysians. The amulet is also extremely popular because everybody knows that Luang Pu Hin used exclusively broken pieces of Prat Somdej Wat Rakang of Somdej Papudajanto to mix his sacred powders for his amulets, because he had so much faith in Somdetto, and so the high Muan San content of original Prat Somdej of Somdej Papudajanto within the Prat Somdej of Luang Pu Hin is also a very influential aspect of its popularity. And now we look at a family relation, the Prat Somdej Khao from the Indochina war ceremony, the second biggest blessing ceremony in the history of Thai Buddhist amulets, which Luang Pu Hin and Luang Pu Nak also donated to Luang Po Supoj of Wat Sutat, pieces of broken Somdej Wat Rakang to mix into the Muan San of his amulets, which is also what makes that particular line of amulets of Luang Po Supoj from the Indochina war ceremony of Wat Sutat also extremely popular, and they've been popular since their release, and they're as popular to this day. A known amulet which those who are less in the know might mistake for a Pratpitta Luang Putto, which was directly released at Wat Padu Chimpli, but actually this was a Pratpitta Luang Putto which Chenamon sprayed with prayer water, which Luang Putto made for the temple of Wat in Jampa to help them raise funds, and which is also a very rare edition, but much lesser known except for those who are true devotees and collectors of all amulets of all lines and temples and lineages where Luang Putto made and blessed amulets. One should also say that this particular amulet has a much lower price than those which were released directly at Wat Padu Chimpli, and are a perfect choice for those who really wish to possess a powerful amulet from the great master Luang Putto at an affordable price. And now a personal favourite, the Pratpitta Nuea Pong Pasom Gesa Tit Jiwon with monk hairs and Jivara robe in Pong Puttakun from the great Sakyant master Luang Po Le of Wat Prasong in Petburi, so famous for his 9 Hanuman Sakyant tattoos. And the rear face of this amulet also has Hanuman on it, with the front face visibly having hairs of Luang Po Le and his Jivara robe. And here we see Hanuman Hao Pen Dao Pen Duan, spitting out the stars and the moon in the moment of his birth. And now a very nice one for ladies and for men, the Prapita Luang Wat Ta Dtoom from 2518 BE, which is a very rare amulet indeed. The rear face has the sacred Akara A for Arahang, meaning the Buddha. And now an extremely rare and rather pricey amulet, the Prat Somdej Lang Prat Sangkajjai in Nuea Daeng from Luang Pina of Wat Sanom Lao, or some people say Wat Ta Nim. This particular pim is in Nuea Daeng and is relatively rare to find. Many other versions were made in black Bailan type powders with pride powders and had gold leaf on the rear face of the Prat Sangkajjai. But this version in Nuea Daeng, which is Pong Prai Luan with Din Adhan, with sacred earths and pride powders, is extremely rare and early era. Prat Roop Law Luang Po Seng Wat Bang Na Pim Bai Po, this one being in Nava 9 sacred metals. This is an expensive model because it is Nava Ge Tong Kham, meaning a high quantity of solid gold smelted in with the 9 sacred metals, which is of course very costly to manufacture and also very costly to purchase. The amulet was released in Buddha Abhiseka ceremony in the year 2520 BE. It's important for the student to look at the surface of the metal, look at the wear and tear and aging, and look for the gold content within the Navaloha, within the 9 sacred metals, which can be seen to shimmer through in certain sections and parts of the surface of the amulet, which is what makes it Navaloha Ge Tong Kham, 9 sacred metals with high quantity of gold. พระปรกโพหลวงพ่อเงินวัดดอนยายหอม 2512 BE. The Prat Bok Po Luang Po Ngan Wat Don Yai Hom, as you can see in this case, is Nuea Pong Naman Pasom Pong Putto, some versions being drier with white Pong Putto and less oil, and is an amulet that can still be found out and about, but is getting ever rarer and carries a medium high price to it, which is highly revered by those devotees of Wat Don Yai Hom. Roop เหมือนสมเด็จพระพุทธจารย์โตพรหมรังสีวัดระฆัง made at and released and blessed at Wat Prasad Punyawad in 2506 BE, along with many other models. And this particular pin is in Nuea Pong Naman, oily sacred herbal powders, and is a very rare model indeed. As you can see the oiliness of the powders through the yellow tint of the tang oil or naman tang il. And on the rear face you can see a high volume of sacred elements and aging characteristics, and also where the amulet has been laid out to dry, because the amulets were laid on different substances to dry, ranging from marble to grainy wood to stone to various kinds of substances, which gave different effects to the rear faces of these amulets.